BJ Mafia was popping. So after being the #1 pick in the 2021 NFL draft, coming out of the University of Clemson as a generational prospect, one of the best quarterbacks and players to come out of college since the days of Andrew Luck, John Elway, Peyton Manning, Trevor Lawrence struggled immensely in his rookie season in 2021 under Urban Meyer with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence comes into year 2 with Doug Peterson, a former Super Bowl winning head coach, and Trevor Lawrence had his ups and downs early on throughout the season, and I've been patiently waiting, as 50 Cent would say, but I'm here to tell you right here, right now, Trevor Lawrence has ascended and taken that next step before our very eyes, and I'm here to push the new agenda that Trevor Lawrence is officially a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I mean it. Now, for anybody that has not been paying attention to the Jacksonville Jaguars, it is extremely easy to overlook this team sitting with a porous record of 5-8 and only 2 games out of the division title in the AFC South. But the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence has been the biggest reason as to why the Jaguars are in a position to even compete for the AFC South, even with a record of 5-8. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons here today why Trevor Lawrence is not only a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but he is going to continue to ascend before your very eyes. Let's get into the first topic. Now, the first reason Trevor Lawrence has ascended into a top 10 quarterback in the NFL is because of head coach Doug Peterson. Now, we all understand that Doug Peterson is a former Super Bowl winning head coach. He turned Carson Wentz into an MVP caliber player in Carson Wentz's sophomore campaign with the Philadelphia Eagles prior to him going down with that injury before Nick Foles came in and saved the day. But Doug Peterson, in today's modern NFL, it is a head coach and it's a quarterback's league, especially with the way the rules are placed and centered around the quarterback. Doug Peterson has been the biggest impact and reason as to why Trevor Lawrence has been so successful this season. You get a competent NFL head coach in here to change up the culture, change the regime, and change the direction of this franchise moving forward after what has been a porous 10 plus years under Shad Khan. After one incredible season in 2017, Doug Peterson has now came into Jacksonville, even with a record of 5-8 in his first season here, and has really got the direction of this franchise moving forward and in a completely different direction. You hear players talking all the time about running through a brick wall for him.
Die for Doug Peterson, I swear. I would run into battle with Doug Peterson 100%. I love the guy. And, just his attitude, you know, it's like you're 3-7 and it's like, you know, you want to make playoffs and stuff, and it's like he hasn't changed his attitude whatsoever. It's like we come into work, we keep working, we just keep chipping away, and eventually it's going to pay off, and it did today. And it's like the feeling in the locker room is just awesome. I love this team.
It sounds like Doug Peterson has really came in and initiated exactly what he had envisioned coming into this season, and everyone has bought into the system. Everyone's bought into the program. And being a former quarterback himself in the NFL, and now that Doug Peterson has won a Super Bowl and Doug Peterson has had his time coaching, especially under the Andy Reid tree, Doug Peterson can be that level of familiarity and help Trevor Lawrence see exactly what is going on. And we've seen Doug Peterson have success with quarterbacks in the past. I've mentioned Carson Wentz. I've mentioned Nick Foles, and even Jalen Hurts in his rookie season, who did struggle and only started the last 4 games of his rookie season. You see Doug Peterson works phenomenal with quarterbacks, and he's the biggest reason as to why Trevor Lawrence has had the level of success he's had in his sophomore campaign and why he has ascended into a top 10 quarterback. Let's talk about the second topic. The second reason Trevor Lawrence has been so successful and has ascended into a top 10 quarterback is because he has the adequate and necessary skill position players around him in order to be successful. Go back just one season to 2021 in Trevor Lawrence's rookie campaign. You had skill position guys like DJ Chark out for the season with an ankle injury after that week 4 injury at Cincinnati. You had Travis Etienne have the Liz Frank injury prior to the season even beginning, and Travis Etienne missed his entire rookie season. Dan Arnold got injured. Jamal Agnew had a hip injury. The list goes on. He was devoid of weapons. He had Laviska Shenault out there. He had players running into each other on crossing routes and falling down together. He had Tavon Austin. He had guys like Laviska Shenault dropping the ball consistently. I don't know if I already said that, but if I did, let me just reemphasize he had Laviska Shenault. Marvin Jones Jr. proved to be a valuable commodity and a great veteran last season. There was a handful of guys that Trevor Lawrence was throwing the ball to, and including Laquan Treadwell, that just were not good enough, and that's fine. It was Trevor Lawrence's first season. The Jaguars were coming off what was the worst season in their franchise's history at 1-15. Of course, the roster was not going to be great. Fast forward to this season, the Jaguars going overpay for wide receiver Christian Kirk, who reset the wide receiver market. And Christian Kirk's proven to be a reliable wide receiver and a valuable commodity for a guy like Trevor Lawrence, and he is now going to be the #1 wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. in terms of yards and probably receptions when it's all said and done at the end of the season. Zay Jones comes in and has been absolutely productive. He's had his drops the last couple of weeks, but he's got the skill position guys around him. Evan Ingram just had an absolutely career day versus the Tennessee Titans. 11 receptions, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was making plays all over the field. While the Jaguars did trade away James Robinson, he's got Travis Etienne in the backfield. College teammate, he's explosive. He has that home run hit ability, and Travis Etienne's been a little bit quiet these last couple of weeks, but Travis Etienne is an absolutely explosive player who's going to help open up and bring another element to this offense, and we've already seen that be very evident this year. There is talent all around this offense right here, right now, and obviously bringing in an offensive lineman like Brandon Scherf helped to really shore up that offensive line, no pun intended. Trevor Lawrence is working with significantly better skill position players around him this season, and you look all across the NFL, what's the number one and number two thing that help a young quarterback ascend and take that next step? One, it's the head coach, and two, it's the skill position guys around him. Look at Buffalo and what they did for Josh Allen. They went and acquired Stephon Diggs. Look at what the Miami Dolphins did by acquiring Tyreek Hill in a trade and also drafting Jalen Waddle. Look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did for Jalen Hurts. They went and drafted Devontae Smith, and they went and traded for A.J. Brown. The list goes on. You go and help your young quarterback by getting him a head coach, and you get him skill position players around him. The third and last reason why Trevor Lawrence has been extremely successful and why he's ascended into a top 10 quarterback in the NFL is simply off the fact is he's got experience under his belt, and he's a lot more comfortable in this offense. An offense that is predicated around getting the ball out quickly, especially with Trevor Lawrence's arm talent and ability. The Jaguars do not take many deep shots, I would say, and Trevor Lawrence just looks extremely comfortable. He's learned and grown from his mistakes. And while Trevor Lawrence had his absolute scrutinizers, doubters, and haters this year, even coming from a big majority of Jaguar fans, Trevor Lawrence was a guy who I consistently had his back. I was constantly supporting him. I never gave up on this guy, and I was absolutely one of those Trevor Lawrence truthers. And Trevor Lawrence has arrived before your very eyes. Let's actually talk about what he's done this season, statistically speaking. So Trevor Lawrence, statistically speaking, this season so far has 3,202 yards, which is 9th among all NFL quarterbacks, 20 touchdowns, tied for 10th, 6 interceptions, tied for 9th, has a quarterback rating scale of 0 to 100 at a 57, which is 13th among all NFL quarterbacks. And the big reason why he's ascended into that top 10 category is because we've seen him string it together consistently for these last couple of weeks, and that's exactly why I was holding off. I didn't want to overreact, and I said, you know what? Let me see him consistently still put these weeks and stack them together, and you know what? He's consistently done that. I had no doubts about that, but now is the time to talk about it. Since week 9, Trevor Lawrence, 1,632 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 71.8 completion percentage, which is first among all NFL quarterbacks, 111.7 passer rating, second among all NFL quarterbacks, and in week 14, PFF graded him the highest quarterback in the NFL with a grade of 92.6, scale of 0 to 100. Trevor Lawrence, William Trevor Lawrence, aka Mr. Sunshine, has officially arrived before your very eyes. He looks a lot more comfortable in the pocket. He's getting the ball out timely with precision. He's making the right passes. He's making quick, smart decisions. He's a lot more comfortable in the pocket. Guys are stepping up, catching the ball, and helping Trevor Lawrence out. And you see the fluidity in this offense. When they are rolling, Trevor Lawrence is the biggest reason why. He's getting out of the pocket. He's stiff-arming guys to get to the back of the end zone. Trevor Lawrence has officially asserted himself into that top 10 quarterback conversation, and he's only going to continue to ascend. And you've seen exactly why he was labeled a generational prospect. Trevor Lawrence, Mr. William Sunshine, is officially a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I've got nothing else to say.
Alright, I did lie. What would this video be without a couple of plays of a film breakdown? I'm going to be talking about some of the plays that really stuck out to me this season. This is probably the best play in Trevor Lawrence's young NFL career, which came versus the Las Vegas Raiders. On this play, you see you got 6 defenders up on the defensive line. You got the 2 linebackers for the Raiders lined up in the A-gap, and Trevor Lawrence is able to negate the blitz. You got Perryman, who comes up across the middle. Fortner's not able to get his hands up in time. Trevor Lawrence the entire time is able to maneuver in the pocket. He doesn't hesitate. Great motion with his hips, and he's able to fire the ball, keep his head up, accurately contort his body while still taking the hit from 2 defensive linemen, including Max Crosby, and deliver an absolute precision pass right here to Marvin Jones Jr. on the sideline. Let's actually go and watch this play now. And right here, the ball is snapped. Perryman gets through. Trevor maneuvers in the pocket, steps up, has his eyes up the entire time, delivers an absolute dot right here to Marvin Jones Jr. Now this was yet another amazing play and drive by Trevor Lawrence. This is the play where Trevor Lawrence got the touchdown to Marvin Jones Jr., which then put the Jaguars in a position on the very next play to take the 2-point conversion, get it to Zay Jones, and end up winning the game versus the Baltimore Ravens. Trevor Lawrence pre-snap does a great job diagnosing what the Baltimore Ravens have presented to him. The Baltimore Ravens are going to be running a man coverage all across the field. They got a 2 deep high safety, so they're playing cover 2 man, and Trevor Lawrence knows pre-snap where he wants to go with this ball, but he does a great job. Once the ball is snapped, he is cool, calm, and collected. He sees that the Baltimore Ravens are sending 4 guys at him. The offensive line does a great job keeping his pocket clean, but Trevor Lawrence is smart and witty with the ball. He looks off the safety, pulls it to the left, and as soon as he gets that safety to budge just a little bit, he rips the ball, puts the ball in a position to where only Marvin Jones Jr. can go and make a play on that ball. Marcus Peters is playing phenomenal coverage defense, but Trevor Lawrence makes an even better throw. Marvin Jones makes an amazing catch and gives the Jaguars the touchdown. Let's actually go and watch this play now. He's reading the eyes of the safety, pulls the ball, knows exactly where he's going, makes an accurate throw, and Marvin Jones comes down with an amazing catch. All right, and I'm going to show you guys just one more play here of film, and this is on the exact same drive that the Jaguars had versus the Baltimore Ravens to put Marvin Jones Jr. in the field position to go ahead and get that touchdown. This is the play to Zay Jones prior on the sideline, and this is both complementary football. This is something that was timely precision by both Zay Jones and Trevor Lawrence here, something that clearly their chemistry and their continuity, something that they've worked on. Trevor Lawrence does a great job here threading the needle between 2 defenders, but Zay Jones honestly does a lot of the heavy lifting here. Zay Jones is going to run about a 10 to 15 yard nod route before breaking up the seam, up the field, and this is great job by both of them because as soon as Zay Jones gets about 10 to 15 yards up the field and breaks to the outside, Trevor Lawrence does a good job by taking his hand off the football, acting as if he's going to throw the ball, step up into the pocket, and that then allows Marcus Peters to take that step up and then let Zay Jones take a step up the field and go. And Marcus Peters tries to jump the route. Trevor Lawrence does a great job with that head fake and the hand placement off the ball. Trevor Lawrence then lets it rip between 2 defenders. Zay Jones comes down with the ball, and it was just a phenomenal play overall. Let's actually take a look at this. Ball is snapped. Trevor Lawrence, I'm telling you, that's textbook. The way he takes his hand off the ball, gets the defender to jump the route, then he steps up into the pocket, delivers an absolute dot between 2 defenders. Zay Jones comes down with the ball.
Okay, I did lie. I did have one more thing to say. I'm just so extremely excited and proud of this young man. 23 years of age, just turned 23, I believe, back in October. And I feel like the entire city of Jacksonville, the entire Jaguars fan base, is extremely grateful to not only have a quarterback and to witness competent quarterback play for really the first time in a long time. Let's just put it like that. And we all got love for guys like Gardner Minshew, Blake Bortles, and the list goes on. But to see what we are seeing, to witness what we are witnessing, and to watch the ascension of this young man and the culture shift that's going on in Jacksonville, it's something beautiful to watch, man. It's something special, and just do not take this for granted, man. Trevor Lawrence, we are extremely grateful for you. Jaguar fans are everywhere. I'm grateful for you, and we cannot say enough about the level of play in which he has played with. We know that the future is bright, and Duval and Jacksonville has built something special. This team is going to take off next year, especially with a guy like Calvin Ridley coming to Jacksonville. But Jaguar fans, NFL fans, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence being a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? Because I'm officially pushing the agenda. Trevor Lawrence is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But if you enjoyed today's video, man, make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second and it helps me and the channel out tremendously. And if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more NBA and Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure y'all go follow me on my socials, especially on Twitter. I'm very active and I'm on there every single day. The link tree will be in the description down below. And the last thing I got to say is, if you guys haven't heard on Twitter or if you guys haven't heard on YouTube, I will be announcing an extremely big announcement that's very important to me here on YouTube and both on Twitter. January 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you mark your calendar and get those post notifications on, because something big has changed in my life. My life is turning in the right direction for a multitude of reasons, and I'm extremely blessed and honored to share with you guys what is going to be going on in my life moving forward. Just know that bigger things are to come, and the grind doesn't stop. I'm extremely grateful and blessed to be able to do what I'm doing, and I love what I do. I'm passionate, and I thank each and every one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so much. BJ Mafia, y'all the realest. Thank you guys again for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ. I'm out, y'all. Go Jags. We love you, Mr. Sunshine. Peace.